just curious how you, a little more technically, how you work with the traditional Socratic method in college versus that. To me, I've never been able to figure out how I've been kind of trying to figure out how I use that to defend my faith, because it feels like Jesus in the gospel says, believe like a child without questioning, when the basis of the Socratic method is to ask questions. So I know you kind of covered it, but thanks for any further.
This is a very good question, which is to say that if faith is childlike, if the Bible commends a faith that doesn't ask questions, blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe, then how is that compatible with the whole Socratic method, which is the deployment of questioning and skeptical reason? I would argue that the way that those two things are compatible is that it's really good and very effective to use the Socratic weapon against the very people who claim to be Socrates. In other words, this would be an example of what I mean. I was in a recent debate with Michael Shermer, who's the editor of a magazine called Skeptic. And Michael Shermer says, in effect, this. He goes, Dinesh, you Christians are half sane. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, in ordinary life you're sane, you're engineers, you're doctors, you follow the laws of reason. But he goes, when it comes to your faith, you begin to utter complete nonsense, and you still pretend to be an intelligent person. So for example, you believe and you insist that there's another life, there's life after death, there's heaven, there's hell, there's this whole other thing going on over there. Well, Dinesh, have you been to the other side of the curtain? Have you interviewed any dead people? No. So what comes after death, you have absolutely no idea, but you go around acting as if you know. In other words, pure insanity. So that's Socratic attack. The best way to meet it is Socratic defense, which goes like this. Michael, you're actually quite right. My belief that there is life after death is based on faith. Now, do you believe that there's life after death? No, I'm a skeptic. Have you been to the other side of the curtain? Have you interviewed any dead guys? No. So, what information do you have that I don't have? None. So, my belief in that there is life after death and your unbelief that there's life after death are both based on faith. I have a faith-based position and you have a faith-based position. So what's the real difference between us? The real difference between us is not that I know and you don't know. The real difference is I'm at least humble and modest enough to admit that my position is based on faith. You, poor deluded fellow, continue to believe that your position is based on reason, even though you don't have any evidence that I don't have.